All right, so let's go ahead and create another composition. And I'm going to call this one Sensei Wilder. Okay, and that is this clip right here. So I'm going to use this clip. And this one actually wasn't shot bad, okay? Like, he looks pretty good. And the point here is that every shot, even shot by the best cinematographers, can always be improved in color correction. And sometimes it's not necessarily improvement, sometimes it's consistency. Like when I shot this shot, maybe when the reverse shot of it might have looked a little bit, it didn't match. And so you might have to adjust it according to matching your shots. So here's a couple of things. I don't really like seeing the edge of this thing in the background, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the size of it. So let's transform the scale just big enough so that I'm hiding the fact that we can see that edge, and maybe I'll drag them over here. So now I got rid of that little thing in the background. Okay, so now the frame looks better. All right, and now let's go ahead and apply Lumetri to this shot. And let's go again back into my curves. I'm going to leave it under the white, which is the RGB. It's all three of these. And I'm going to just start by creating, I'm looking again at this waveform monitor. It's pretty hot up here, but it's not crushed. But I have the blacks aren't really where I want them to be. I want them to be a little bit lower here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down a little bit. It doesn't look, so it looks okay on the waveform monitor, but it does not look good here. So you kind of have to sort of reference them both. Okay, so let's reset that. I don't like the way that looks, and I'm just going to make some subtle changes here. I think that looks pretty good. He's got a lot of red in his cheeks, which is kind of okay, but you might want to experiment to see what do you like better. I think it looks pretty good that way. And again, we can turn it on and off to kind of see how it's going. Maybe just experiment and see what happens when I bring a little bit more green into it. I think the green level was okay. How about blue? So depending on the look that you want to go for here, this might be a good place to kind of try one of these creatives. Let's kind of see. Let's say if I went with a let's try blue steel. No. So that's kind of interesting. It gives me a very, you see more detail in his face there, and like the little lines on his face sort of pop out a little bit more, and so that just kind of worked out pretty well.